So one of the themes of the regimen is trying to bridge the gap between marching or rudimental and concert drumming, which is not an original idea to me, but it's a difficult thing to do, I find, and I grew up in the marching rudimental tradition, and the things that I really liked about it and have carried through my life is being able to break things down to the skeleton of the meat of it, the challenge of what we are actually trying to achieve, and figuring out, oh, my right hand actually is doing like a triple stroke with an accent, and that's why this little lick is so difficult. So if I just work on that little technique and then go back to this lick, now I can play it. I've always really liked that, and I find that that doesn't always get taught very well in the concert arena if you haven't had any marching upbringing. Now the negative to the marching, I think, is we get a little heavy-handed and it's a little into the drum at times, and that sort of doesn't translate so well into the concert playing. So these exercises I try to reiterate with my tips that we're trying to be loose and sort of on top of the drum, not so much into the drum, while at the same time the exercises look fairly rudimental and traditional. So there may be, it may be encouraging for some heavy-handed sort of old-school traditional playing. But looking at this exercise, taps and Swiss Army, I'm basically breaking down what our hands are doing in flam taps and Swiss Army triplets, which really just breaks down into triple strokes for flam taps. We're overlapping those, and Swiss Army triplets are actually just double strokes. So I go into detail about that, but this point about sort of rudimental heavy-handed versus concert playing, I think I can show with this tap Swiss Army. So there's kind of two ways I might go about this. So in the marching rudimental world, it might look like this. And again, I haven't done this in a long time, so I'm not trying to make fun of anyone here, but for the concert world, we're thinking more lift and a little more arm and across the top. So I think that's, in a nutshell, a very small nutshell, the difference of how I might go about practicing these things. As opposed to this heavy-handed, just technique-based, we're trying to loosen up our arms and involve more of our muscles and stay relaxed. Initially, I think if you're shifting from this marching tradition into a more concert stage tradition, it's a little off-putting to let go of the stick so much. And I went through this very specifically for me as I got more and more into the orchestral world. And your body fights it because you feel like you're losing control of the stick, because you need to allow it to bounce and be free and loose. And at first you may feel much less accurate and less in control, but I promise over time you redevelop that accuracy, and the benefits far outweigh that little bit of time when you don't feel quite so comfortable about it. And then you're able to just be looser and freer, and then less tense in your body, but you'll still find that accuracy.